Our speaker this morning is Zhou. Jason is a four-year boarding student from Shanghai, China. He's a captain of the varsity boys soccer team and co-editor-in-chief of the Hill News. He's also a proud resident of Wendell One. Jason.
Thank you, Rocco, for the introduction. 4 years have passed by way too fast for me to sort everything out in my mind before walking up behind this podium and giving this chapel talk. So we'll see how things goes. First of all, I want to express my gratitude towards my parents, Kyrie's and their family, who's like my second family here in the States, my advisory, Hill Soccer, and everyone who made my experience at Hill memorable. I've got so much love for you. Thank you. I have lived through the phase of being the popular kid in middle school. The phase of feeling nostalgic and in fear of missing out after I moved to a new country. In the face of self-reflecting and embracing my own solitude. As I've mentioned in my thought of the day a couple of days ago, I've always felt like my life is a bullet train without a destination. The people I meet are all passengers of the train who come and go. But I forgot to mention one thing though. These people are what make the journey of our life colorful and unforgettable. In the electronic age of the 21st century, everything is at our fingertips. Because of the mindsets that these easy accesses created, we tend to take a lot of things for granted. The social norm fed us the idea that people who are close with each other don't need to say thank you to each other. More often, we overlook a lot of the relationship that we have with the people around us. Many of you know that whenever the new issue of the Hill News comes out, I'm the guy who stands on the podium lunch asking you to read out work and maybe even write for us. Journalism, to me, is way more than words and pictures. It is appealing to me because of the relationship that I build through talking and interviewing my sources. By building relationships with my sources, I've learned to become a better listener, and I appreciate the genuine emotions of my interviewee. Journalism is my platform to bridge communities and pull people closer to each other. It helped me realize that all of us are not complete strangers. There are always tiny things that connect you and me. Last year, I started a project spotlighting all the underappreciated members at the Hill School. One of my favorite artists, Rene Magritte, once said, "Everything we see hides another thing. We always want to see what is hidden by what we see." I wanted to learn more about the Hill security team, Sodexo team, the HVAC maintenance team, and find that hidden story behind their daily diligent work we always see and share them to the Hill community. The best way to approach people is to always come in preparing to learn from them. It all starts with a genuine conversation. Of course, I get discouraged sometimes to talk to someone who I'm not familiar with, but I think it's all about taking that initiative, taking the first step, and offer your genuine heart to build that relationship. Mr. Rodell was my interviewee in my security spotlight. I would always remember him cracking up when he talks about karaoke and when he talks about his deep love for his daughter. Every time Rodell drives past me on his golf cart, he always offers me a ride and we would catch up. I hope that wouldn't get him in trouble. Rodell is hardworking, trustworthy, and kind. I'm glad to call Rodell my friend. Miss Tanya, Miss Jill, and Miss Lisa in the dining hall are faces we see every single day. They are veterans who worked at Hill for over 20 years. I woke up at 5 a.m. to shadow Miss Tanya on a Saturday morning, watch her prepare breakfast for the whole school by herself while dancing and humming to her favorite 50 Cent. Miss Jill was camera shy at first, but I can tell she's excited to tell her story. Now, whenever I see them in the hotline, They always gave me huge scoops of food, and Miss Tanya would wave at me in the back of the kitchen. My interaction with them also gave me a lot of perspectives on my work ethics. Then I took a step further. As Pottstown is slowly recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, I wanted to spotlight some of the local businesses to connect our Hill community to the Pottstown community. I opened Google Maps, found a couple of local businesses with interesting names, and I just cold called them to try and schedule an interview. It didn't work. A lot of businesses did not pick up, or they were busy at the time. So I decided to walk down High Street with my co-editor-in-chief, Anna, and started going into all sorts of businesses to talk to the owners and customers with a piece of sample of Hill News newspaper, just going in everywhere if you like. We picked out 6 unique local businesses, made short documentaries, and published a story in our newspaper in the end. In this process, I interviewed Nakeem from the Caribbean restaurant, Welcome to the Avenue, who plays soccer in the same Sunday league as me. And we have stayed in touch ever since. Honey's Homebrew Cafe owner, Miss Melinda, offers me free lemonade and sticky buns after each interview, and she was overjoyed to see her story printed in our newspaper. Every time I thought about these projects, a warm stream flows through my chest. As we gather here today, I want to invite you to think about the relationships that have shaped your life. Who are the people that have made a difference in your journey? How have your interactions with them impacted who we are today? Start cherishing the relationship you already have. Do not take them for granted. A lot of the guys that are close with me always jokes on my fake British accent. Well, what do you expect me to sound like, Augie? I actually grew up learning Oxford English, and I played in a British club back home in Shanghai. That explains my subtle accent, also my taste for UK music. Every time I play those on the speaker, I always get side eyes and I just see people leaving their seats. I'm actually banned from Kai's family aux. Right, this is still a part of the cultures that I take in, being a global citizen. For those of you who know Kai Reese, their big family is like my second family here in the States. Coming from Brazil, their hospitality and love was something I've never experienced before. What's more, before every family meal, we come together, stand in a big circle, hold hands, and listen to Grandma Maria for her prayers. Then everyone says grace. Though it is in Portuguese, I still feel the power of faith, loyalty, and family running through my blood. It was beautiful. And then there comes the food. I had the privilege to munch on those pão de queijo, buns with goat cheese, fill my plate with a boiling feijoada, which is a Brazilian black bean stew, and quench my thirst with a bottle of Guaraná. In the future, I would carry on the hospitality and passion that my Brazilian family taught me, welcome the future with open arms. Building a relationship requires honest communication on the basis of respect and trust. In our contemporary world, society is severely divided. There are prejudice, biases everywhere. I hope we can educate ourselves to embrace the differences, to open up to new ideas, and to turn hate into love. Be a global citizen. Learn about different cultures while sharing your own. I vividly remember the first class of my worldviews and world religions with Reverend Confer Martins. She picked out a quote from German philologist Max Mueller. It says, "To know one religion is to know none." Imagine that our mind is like a parachute. When it is open, it is able to catch the winds of new ideas and experiences. And it can float freely and adapt to changing circumstances. But when it is closed, it is rigid and inflexible, and it cannot move or change direction. From my years at Hill, I began to recognize and appreciate a variety of cultures, viewpoints, and social experiences around the world. Coming from a traditional Chinese family, I was not familiar with physical affection. During my times here at Hill, I learned to give hugs and give compliments. I tried gefilte fish for the first time during our Shabbat dinner, though it is usually served during the Passover. I also learned about the meaning of Shabbat dinner from Sarah. Our Spanish class helped make altars with cempasúchil flowers, which is Aztec marigolds, with the help of Senora Gomez and Profe Macano during the Hispanic Heritage Month. With the help of Ms. Chiu, I also made dumplings with fellow students and welcomed everyone to our traditional Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival celebration, where we painted lanterns and sent them floating in the dell. Speaking about passion, I hope everyone is passionate in the things you believe in, but at the same time, have an open mind and the courage to listen. For my Hill soccer teammates, they have heard me say, play for the badge, probably for hundreds of times. Among the 3 captains on the team, I'm definitely the meanest one to my own teammates on the field. In practices, sometimes it can be a little too much. I get overwhelmed by the results of winning and losing, and I would forget other players' hope to just have fun and run on the pitch and enjoy the game of soccer. I'm grateful for Huddy and Harry when they came to me after practice, giving me advice on how to be more approachable on the field. Other teammates also helped me grow as a captain through a lot of heated arguments and a lot of hugging it out. It made Hill Footy more united than ever. This is how easy we can impact the people around us. As a journalist, I hope we can start recognizing the importance of staying in tune with current news. We need to be informed and look for things that we can change around us and impact each other. I want to mention media literacy and its importance to create a community with effective communication and genuine relationship. We're often trapped in the algorithm of confirmation biases, only favoring information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs while ignoring or dismissing information that contradicts those beliefs. This problem hinders our ability to stand in other people's shoes, to look at the other side of the story, and to understand our relationship with people who have different beliefs. We can only combat the situation through media literacy education. On January 4th, New Jersey has become the first state in the country to require public schools to teach media literacy to K-12 students as a way to combat misinformation. This is the first step to teach the next generation how to discern whether the sources are credible and break through the lock of confirmation biases. I've always believed that the goal of journalism is to spread truth in our political and civil discourse and connect more bridges to help the world heal. If we can educate ourselves, embrace differences, have an open mind, I believe that we are on the right track to the unity of our humanity. At the end of my chapel talk, I want everyone here to think about how you can impact your peers, your parents, even our Hill community. I encourage everyone to utilize the resources on campus, the Warner Center, Counseling Center, even on a dining hall table, to create spaces where peers from different backgrounds and viewpoints can come together to have honest conversations and listen to one another. Just like Angie Thomas said yesterday, we all have the power to start changing the world. Let us commit to building bridges and working together. Start taking that initiative and build our network in a belief that a more united world is possible. Thank you.